Welcome back, everybody, to the RSCEU Season 8. My name is Hops, and we've just seen a fantastic game between Meteor and Blaze, which ended up being 2-2 in the major tier. But next up, we have got a premier match between Flame and Overburn. Flame being a new roster, Overburn being a new roster as of this afternoon. It's going to be interesting to see how these two sides stack up against each other. On the casting desk is Vector alongside me and Source on the stream. What a game this is. This is a premier match to beat any premier match. Both these sides all have signed some unbelievable rosters, and I'm really excited to see how these two teams will kind of match up against each other.
As am I. The first premier match that I have the privilege to cast in the RSC, and alongside you, Hop, it could not have been any other way. It's going to be a ton of fun. Hopping up a couple of tiers, Flame, their big brother, the big brother of Blaze, now on stream, as you said. New roster, a roster that played a lot together, as you've told me previously, won a tournament for quite a great prize pool. So they've got plenty of experience, they've got pedigree, they've got winning attitude. And it's just whether or not this new, fresh-faced Overburn roster will be able to stand up to the heat of the Flame. Overburn bringing in Caden, Gom, King Jays, and Luke to the fray, replacing Azza, Nuxie, and Stat. And as based on the results that we've seen of them, you could probably see why these roster changes have been made. Flame's last two was a forfeit loss versus Luna, and a 2-2 versus Vulcan, and Overburn's last two matches were both 1-3s versus Oreos and Luna. So the results haven't been coming in. The position in the standings aren't great. So these new look rosters are probably hopefully for these franchises are what's gonna push them further up the table, because Premier is so much more unique, I feel, in RSC than the other tiers, because the teams only play one match a week. They only have a chance at 4 points every single week, and it makes these standings so much closer by the looks of things, with Overburn being 8th and Flame being 9th. Just one game between each other. Really, this could go either way.
It really, really can. And as you said, these changes have come in due to the fact that the results are not there, not how they want to be. But both of these sides, I know a guarantee for Flame, this is a full team pickup. They've been playing together a lot, so I'd expect them to be comfortable with each other. On the Overburn side, it may not be the same case. I don't know whether they have played together much, but it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. But still, Premier is Premier. All these guys, there'll be very few mistakes happening. Rotation will be clean, and it'll be a fast game. But it is Hedgeby already with the pressure. Creamy was there to put the shot on and almost getting the first goal of the game. It is Flame on the attack. Creamy finding that flip reset. He does find it, tries to go underneath. He actually fakes it and gets the goal. Creamy looking very tasty and smooth as his name in sight. Fakes it underneath. As he gets that flip reset and just 50s it into the back of the net. It is Flame up 1-0 with only 32 seconds gone.
And it was a fake reset as well. He didn't even need to use it, just the fear that he instilled in those defenders, forcing them to commit to it. Because in this Premier tier, you have to expect that every single player is capable of that kind of play, those kinds of mechanics, and they have to be ready for it. So when they get deceptive, when they get cheeky and tricky, that's when it gets so much more difficult. But a miss here off the sidewall by Broken, I believe it is, Gom. I don't know why they're changing their names. It makes it so much more difficult for us, Hop, but let's see if it makes it difficult for them on the field. As King J gets a nice 50, doesn't manage to get it past the final defender of the name Edgeby, but Creamy here with a free touch, misses this one as well, leaves it for the third man Rexo, has a bit of time, flicks it over one, gets it over the second as well, only has to deal with the third man King J's, but gets the 50 and it drops down, just about hits the post. They could have easily taken a second goal off that really wayward 50.
Was a crazy 50, but Flame looking very, very comfortable on the offense. You can see these guys have played with each other a lot. Clean rotations, they know exactly what each other are going to do, and I think as this open set side settles in, they're definitely going to be putting and looking to get those goals away from Flame. But Creamy is on the attack, being that notable player who've already scored in this series. A huge demo by King JS on to the final player back. Does leave Broken, puts it off the backboard instead, and a huge touch coming out from Creamy on that rotation. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get that goal, but At the end of the day, it was a difficult angle to clean it up. Rexo gets that fake, gets bumped by his teammate Creamy, but actually in the end it works out. As in the end, it looks like EBJ is going to go for the fake. And hold on! What just happened? What just happened?
Okay, so Creamy bumps Rexo into this play, it works out, then HB gets a reset and then Rexo hits him into the ball again. So there's just a train of team bumps going on and it leads to Flame's second goal of the game. This is absolute nonsense. I'm as confused as Overburn probably are at the moment, but it's working for Flame. Chaos is embraced, and it's almost just led to Overburn finding a goal there, almost getting the 50 over him, but it's opened up so clearly for Edgeby to shoot at, and that's the third. Overburn really starting to fall apart in the midfield.
Yeah, and I think the difference maker really is the fact that this Flame roster, who've just been picked up, have played with each other now for a while. You know, they know how each other play, and you know, Premier, you have to start questioning the fact of these, you know, unlikely bumps, whether they were actually calculated bumps is another thing, but in Premier, you'd like to think that they were. And it is Flame really piling the pressure on. 3 goals in. Rexo looking for the pass and sense. He does find Edgeby, but actually taken away by Gom, aka broken. The ball now goes flying towards the Flame half. King spinning into the centre is taken away by Rexo. The pass to Edgeby for the clearance is there. Edgeby is going to go up, pops it over to Rexo. Rexo off the backboard. Nobody back though, and it does look like King JS has an opportunity to put the goal in. All 3 players off Flame committing upfield there for that counter attack. It was an opportunity, but a good defensive play coming out from Overburn is going to lead to that goal. And in Premier, they will never miss opportunities like that. It'll be, you know, few and far between missing those open net opportunities. But 3-1 in favour of Flame. Almost another goal there as the kickoff attempt did come in from that second man who was cheating. But still not able to find anything. Rexo pops it around 1. Destin was the last play back, but he's beaten out by Karimi again. Gone off the backboard looking for his teammates. Actually decides to go himself. His challenge. Creamy rotating back, identifying there's a player waiting for that shot just a little bit wide for Destin. He does get the demo though onto Edgeby to slow down the counter attack. A good touch from Destin as well to slow that down, but a passing play coming in. The shot just a bit wide. Another one coming off the backboard looking for Creamy to pop it in, and he does so beautifully around that final defender. What a fantastic finish that was.
I mean, as devastating as this scoreline looks, 2 goals for Edgeby and Creamy, two assists for Rexo, firing on all cylinders, as we might have expected them to see. Anybody that knows these names, anybody that knows this team, expecting this result to come through. They haven't been entirely perfect. There has been some double commits here and there. Of course, they left it completely open for Overburn to take one of those goals, and there are cracks in the armor of Flame here. Creamy having to force to go up to read this, doesn't have the second option to pass to. They just about managed to have the boost to keep that aerial game going. But a quick pinch clear here from Leston, who in my investigations I have figured out is Luke. It wasn't all that hard. It's got the same first letter. So they are playing together here as a new roster. I don't know how much they've played together prior to this, if they are as comfortable with one another as Flame are. But this is just the first game. I think things will change a little bit for Overburn. They attempt a double tap. Edgeby trying to get a third goal on the board there for himself. Don't manage to do it. And Overburn go back up the field. And King Jace does actually get his brace. And there are 30 seconds left. I would not put it past a Premier team to find a way back into this game.
I really wouldn't be surprised either. It's a tall order, though, against a side such as Flame, but if there is a team to it, he's going to be Overburn. They are looking very strong, a bit more comfortable with each other now as this game progressed. A fake coming out off the kickoff, a bit of a passing play attempt. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Oh, what's going to happen? What a play coming out! What was is this? You've seen it first, and they get the finish. Creamy down. Goal of the week, hands down. What a finish.
Absolutely scintillating strike. Just as I was saying, Overburn may have a chance here. It's just a 2-goal game. A fake kickoff, a 1-2-3 passing play straight down the middle, and there's nothing that Overburn can even attempt to do to prevent that going in. It went off the crossbar. It wasn't as clean as they might have hoped, but it was absolutely disgustingly effective. And Flame have taken this first game in their stride. Absolutely beautiful performance so far.
It was a fantastic performance indeed, as almost a 6th one going in. But
Ooh.
I mean, I need to catch. Let me have a sip. I'm gonna have a sip of something.
I mean, I was talking about before we started, I was like, I need to be the counterbalance. I need to be the counterweight to any potential bias. This is, of course, the former GM of this franchise, Ignite Esports Hops, that we have here. Of course, Mab's taking over from him. But I was just wondering, are there any remnants of loyalty left in Hops? Seeing this team perform to the standard that they are, of course. He has probably a little bit. I'm going to let him explain.
I mean,
himself,
I'm still working.
I have to root for Overburn, yeah. So,
you know, I think I would be sacked as as a manager with Ignite if I wasn't supporting them slightly. But how could you? With the performance that Flame is, no matter if you're a Flame hater, you cannot deny how beautiful of a goal that was to come out from them. Overburn, though, they had some moments of absolute brilliance. They really did. But you have to say, the 2 goals they got came off counterattacks. They came off over rotations from Flame. So, Overburn, they've got to kind of, I think, take a bit of a deep breath. They've got to realise that Flame are going to be going for these crazy passes, going to be going for these plays. They have to be on top of them before give them any room to breathe.
Yeah, it seemed like the rare mistakes that Flame actually made, getting a little bit too aggressive and a little too far forward. Overburn did recognise that, and they did get a couple of goals from it. It's just whether or not they can create opportunities of their own without hoping that Flame kind of fall apart a bit and give them those chances, because they're definitely taking them off of Overburn so far. It was only the first game. Generally, it's hard to tell how the series is going to go from that first one. There are so many factors to consider, and it's just whether or not Overburn have recognized what Flame were doing well, and see if they can bring some of their own pedigree to the fore. Starting out here a little bit neutral for the first 30 seconds. Why was that so difficult? As Leston is no difficulty getting that through the midfield, but Gamble doesn't manage to get it past the first man. It forces a double commit here for Overburn to take another shot. It's a passive field. Can Gamble find a shot? And he does! Top left bins! Beautiful way to start out the second game. Just 50 seconds in, they find a brilliant shot.
What a finish that was.
40 seconds in even.
And anywhere else in the goal that ball was going, it would have been saved. The only place that goal was going to happen was in the top left bins. A beautiful finish that was. There's a bit of another fake coming out, and they are liking these fakes, this Flame roster, and it pays off again. Straight back into this game. A beautiful pass. Kimi just taking his time, and this is what I talk about. They've given him way too much time and space to work with. When they just sets up that shot. This Overburn have to be on him. Even if it's one player flying in for that pressure, as soon as that ball goes in as he gets that touch, that would have prevented that goal. They've really got to be on that space management.
That's the trouble with a clean a kick-off strategy as we see from Flame. It gives them that space and that time to pick out that pass. Creamy just taking that on his hood, and then Rexo is already in the midfield, already gone for the boost because, well, he doesn't need to go for the kickoff. He's in perfect position, doesn't need to recover. And if Overburn couldn't get to it, couldn't get any sort of car in the way, close down that shooting angle, then Rexo was just happy to take it. And now he takes the midfield boost and past Gamble, trying to get it, actually going for the bump, does manage to get on the third man. King J has to take his time, otherwise this could have led to a bad play here, but Gamble gets a massive pinch off the sidewall. Edgeby drifts into his own goal there. Another double commit from Flame does open this up a bit for Overburn to a little slow, and King J doesn't have the boost to beat Rexo off of his own backbone. It's a little bit of boomer ball going on as both sides trying to figure out where the weaknesses are in this second game. Premier games evolve so much quicker, they adapt so much quicker than a lot of gameplay that we see in the RSC, and right now we're seeing that the results of that is so much closer in this second game.
Really is. There's Kimi looking to put that second goal in. It's just a little bit wide, but he is going to be there. He actually just goes for a soft touch. Forces Gam to jump, actually. Going to really give him opportunity to press that attack. And however, it still is going on. Kimi controlling that midfield, putting towards the back ball where Luke is waiting. Good touch from him. It's played underneath as Rexo now trying to get the touch. Rotates behind Edgeby as Edgeby actually gets demoed. Broken now putting it into the midfield, looking for the pass. He does find it, but it is actually missed by Luke. We saw one of the Flame players coming flying in for a touch. Kenji S popping it high once again Gom is up, but could not get that touch. All three players of Flame stuck in that corner, so Creamy decides to take it himself with a flip reset, gets it over that last player, but not on target, unfortunately. Rexo now there, putting it high, looking for the finish. Whoa, that would have been something special. But this Flame side pulling out all the tricks in the book right now to maybe take this second game. As Creamy puts it back to Rexo. Rexo looked for the redirect, but couldn't find it. KingJS just obstructing the line that he wanted to take momentarily there. He broken up for the bubble. It's just the double commits are happening, but still, it is back and forwards. Is there a shot opportunity here? The Creamy saving it. Flame looking very composed right now, but Overburn stepping it up when they need to be.
I don't know how that one didn't go in. That should have been barreled through, just about glances off the post from that 50. From what I've been seeing, it seems like there's two different philosophies in terms of offense here. Flame going for those midfield passes, trying to get a shot away as quickly as possible and just beat the pure speed of Overburn's rotation. But Overburn themselves, they don't seem to go for the early shot. They try and draw out the defenders first. They hit the ball towards them, force them to make a play that they might not exactly want to be going for, and then try and send the third man or even the second man if the first beats two players, and create chances like that. And both have been relatively successful so far, but this is over the third man and just a slight bit of aggression, expecting him to be faster than Rexo, but apparently not, as a brace here comes out all the way from the other side of the field. Flame take the lead with 50 seconds left, and should this really be happening in Premier Hop? Should that rotation just be breaking down that simply?
Well, I mean, in that sort of scenario, I don't actually blame Overburn for pushing up so aggressively. They were pushing up a lot with only two players and to no avail, and so they tried to commit that third man up in that midfield to give themselves enough opportunity to shoot. Yet in that turn of the events, Rexo's speed was just too unmatched, and that's really what the difference maker was. And I think Flame has been playing faster throughout this series so far. With an opportunity here, it's a little bit wide. It was an incredibly difficult angle, but he was able to cut, wasn't able to find it, unfortunately. There's a bit of a whiff coming out from Gom, but it is covered by Luke. A bit of a miss on the backboard still, but it throws off both of the players there. Maybe with a tactical whiff there.
What a shot!
Coming in, but what a shot from Luke to tie up the game with 10 seconds left on the clock. This Overburn side really starting to turn up the heat. We find their momentum here. 2-2, 10 seconds left on the clock. It is back and forth Rocket League, and in Premier you very rarely see a team flying away with a massive lead, within a massive scoreline. It is very close, even the difference between first and 12th, but a counter-attack opportunity here if it can be kept up. Luke pops it up lightly, unfortunately. 0 seconds on the clock. KingJS is probably going to look to kill this. He just puts it off the corner. Rexo keeps it up. The redirect! Oh my god, it's still up! Oh my god! That looked lethal. Was heading towards the top end, but it's just off the upright. Because we have got our first overtime of the evening. Shot is early from this roster. A bump comes in. A line broken for the shot, but it's too weak and nothing too difficult for Edgeby to deal with. Broken pops it back downfield. Destin is Luke is there, but covered again by Edgeby, who's being defensive mastermind. Rexo going for the shot. I think he was looking for his teammate to go for the bump there. Came in just a little bit too late. Creamy now pops it off the bat floor. If he was able to follow that up, that would have been something filthy. Bit of a whiff though coming out from KingJS on the backboard. Fortunately for him, none of the Flame players were there to follow it up with another shot. Gom with the counter attack, puts into the midfield. Nobody there waiting. Creamy booms it down the field, looking for Rexo, who was waiting on that side ball, but Rexo not able to get there. Bit of a missed touch. It's wide, it's too high. KingJS, how?
That was free.
Yeah, you're hearing Rexo make sounds in his ear, in my ears, and rightly so. The whiffs coming out from both these sides is just paralytic right now.
There's been so many vicious chances from both sides. The flair on display has been beautiful to watch. The fact that it's so close isn't all that surprising. There's been so many double commit desperation saves and shots coming out. I feel like this overtime could go so much longer, and whether or not Overburn having over in their name gives them any sort of advantage in these OT situations, we shall have to see. KingJ's with a big miss there, and now Luke trying to create something.
just about puts it wide, but King J's with a free chance here off the backboard. Another one for Luke to take a pop out. There's 2 defenders, and Creamy's happy to take this high and away from the crouching attackers, but it seems like they're just passing to their opponent when they're in that defensive part of the field. I mean, part of that is that Premier players are just so good at reading what their opponent is attempting to do. As Creamy tries to put this away, it's going to be edgy instead. Finds the shot, finds his first goal of the game. Creamy with a plethora of an assist. Actually, the fake kind of threw off the defense there. Oh
my word! What did we just witness? It was Overburn's good game to lose. They had every opportunity. They had 2 whiffs in that overtime, but were not able to clutch up when need be. The flame was too hot in the end. And Creamy's ice-cold nature to go for a fake in that scenario is just ballsy beyond belief. And he was able to capitalize and able to clutch up, get that final goal. And it's something we're seeing a lot from Flame. A lot of fakes coming out, but with these fakes, they are so effective because Overburn have to commit. Because if they don't commit, the fake won't happen and that goal is going to happen. You know, it's such a difficult scenario. You almost having to say you have to, 2-man mark Flame when they're pushing up because one needs to go for that fake, one needs to go for the player. And the ball is just so difficult.
It's something you see quite a bit in Elite. There's obviously players that are consistent and mechanical enough to go for things like flip resets and double taps, but when they go for that stuff, you're not ever quite sure, are they going to hit it, are they not? Sometimes they do without meaning to, sometimes they miss it unintentionally, but you have to respect it as you do with Premier. It's such a consistency for these players' ability to do that, that you have to expect that it's going to happen. The threat is there, and it's almost always actually relied upon for these teams to beat the defenses that are capable of reading that. But as soon as you flip it on its head, as soon as you turn the tables and do something different, do something deceptive, that's when it throws you off. It's like you do something for so long, you build up the muscle memory, and then it suddenly changes, and you're like, wait, what? That's not supposed to happen. And then you've suddenly beaten your opponent. It might not be like perfect, it might not be clean in a lot of people's eyes, and that might not be the kind of Rocket League people like to see. But it's effective, and that's all that matters. Use what works, and at the moment, it's working for Flame, despite how close it was in that second game.
Really is. I wouldn't be surprised to see Overburn taking a match, maybe tying up the series in this, being it a tied series if this keeps on going the way that they are playing right now, but they cannot whiff those opportunities like we saw in that previous overtime. The passing play coming out once again. Creamy not able to get to it, unfortunately, a little bit too high. Rexo there to follow it up, plays it off the backboard. Grom going for that catch. There's a bit of a safe play there. Edgeby now going to rotate back, get that boost. Knows he has time here. Going to go for a bit of an air dribble play. Looking to try and play over King Jayasa, but a double commit coming in. Luke not able to find the angle as he was just slightly misplaced in front of that net. Creamy having to get a touch though. Not much boots to work with for Creamy. The defense now, Flame all over their own backboard, trying to get out of this hole which Overburn has them in this first minute and a half of this third game. With a friendly bump comes in, Rexo is there, going to try and go for the catch off that side wall, nothing happening. Now Creamy, an opportunity to make something happen, fakes it underneath one. Actually, I think there was a slight dunk there. There's GS waiting on the backboard to collect that ball. Bit of a double commit again. He's going to play over. Creamy going to try and pop it around Gom, but Gom wise to that. He gets a touch to the ball. A bump onto King JS is there, but is Edgeby going to get back inside? No, Edgeby hesitant on that external rotation as we see him questioning whether he needs to commit to that ball. Rexo was there, but you see rotating late and not able to get that save, and it is Overburn going to go up 1-0 in this game like they did in the previous match.
Yeah, just the slightest decisions, split-second moments of whether or not you should do something. I mean, that's what happened to Edgeby there. He turned slightly left as that ball was missed by Gamble because Creamy bumped him, but Edgeby making up for his previous mistake, finding an equalizer here. A rapid response just 17 seconds later, just slammed into the backboard. I feel like there really should be someone ready for that, although they expected a quick shot from Creamy. It works out for them, but going back to what I was talking about, the reason that Overburn score there was King J's had a free shot that was not expected from the defense. Again, with the whole muscle memory thing, they think something's going to happen. When it doesn't happen, are they ready for it? They have to be more adaptable. They have to be ready for the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. And if they don't, it opens up so many chances, and those chances are more often than not taken by players of this caliber. It's just whether or not they can cement that control, as Flame did in the first game. But you know that what they say, Hop, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long, and almost King Jace finds the second goal.
And King Jace has had these moments of brilliance, almost finding these goals, but just playing a little bit wide every time. Edby comes flying in there, looking for that shot. Creamy has rotated back as the third man. A demo comes in to stop the push from happening. A good win by Rexo. Rexo's speed's been amazing. A bit of a team pinch. Would have been an incredible goal. Edby is class player back. Creamy has rotated back as well, allowing Edby to go for that challenge. And the rotations from Flame being cleaned up a little bit here in this game. We did see a few mistakes from them in the previous matchups. We see now Broken now going for a bit of an air dribble. One of his teammates has been demoed, so not going to be able to do too much there. Just put it onto the backboard. King JS not getting the touch that he wants either. Does allow for Rexo to put it into the center. Not the redirect looked for by Edgeby, but still dangerous nonetheless for this Overburn side. Bit of a clearance coming in. Rexo's just going to track it and turn late. Does get demoed for his efforts. Creamy, though, has rotated back. He's going to be able to pop it high. Doesn't look like he's going to beat out Broken to the ball, but still gets the 50-50 challenge, allowing his teammate to come off the side. Gets the reset, looking for the double tap. Can he find it? Oh my god, Edgeby, he made a mistake earlier for that first goal, but has completely made up with it. What a beautiful setup.
So clean. I mean, I was rooting for him to score that just because of how well it was set up, how well that opportunity was created, and it does drop down for his teammate. I'm sure happy to take the assist, but wanting to be the star of the show there. And Overburn just kind of fall apart in the defense on that backboard. Another shot from Edgeby trying to find his brace. King J happy to put that to the corner as Luke tries to take possession. Creamy hunts him down, tries to hunt down Gamble on the goal line as well. They just about survive a third stint from Flame. Going back up the field now. Overburn have a chance. King J's is a little rapid to this ball, expecting the quick pass, but it was a slow roller from Luke, and now Gamble having to slow this play down, control it in the corner. Does actually really quite well, considering how rapid Flame seem to be on that aggressive first man rotation, but they're holding on just about, trying to go back up the field, find that equalizer as they did in the previous game. Whether they can do it though, they have less time than they did. This is going to be a tight one.
This is really close, as Overburn is starting to mount a little bit of pressure here. As I'm talking, a mistake though coming out from Rexo. Nobody pushed up from Overburn. There is a complacency here which needs to be quelled on the Overburn roster. They have to be, confident enough to push forward, because they're just giving Flame so much time on the offense. With the clock ticking, they're going to have to make something work, as Gom trying to make it down the field. Gets a bit of a ground pinch to knock it forward. Is there to put the ball on towards the back of the net, but well read from Karimi. He's just going to take his time. He pops it high, and, unless it's going to be kept up, which it is, but I think Karimi is probably going to let this die here, which he does so. And it's going to be Flame winning your Series 3-0 so far, but there is that fourth final game, a bit of a redemption game for Overburn, where they're able to take a victory off quite a hot Flame roster. I feel like every single goal that Flame scored has been some sort of highlight reel.
Yeah, and it's looking at the potential of a sweep here. They're relatively rare in Premier, despite regardless of forfeit wins, of course. Obviously, the games have been extremely close, except the first one goal games, not needing an overtime in this third one. But as you said, Flame, just the pedigree that they have, the ability to work around their opponent rather than trying to force things through. They do make a lot of double commits sometimes in the midfield. It didn't hurt them as much as it did in the last game. So I think they've recognized that, figured it out a little bit, slowed the pace of the game down. And as we saw there with Creamy having to be that last man, being as patient as you possibly can, waste time, allow your teammates to rotate, get into position to support you, and you can really frustrate your opponent in that manner when they're trying to play quick, when they're trying to be aggressive, make you commit early. So it's working for Flame, but again,
one-goal game. If Overburn just tighten up that tiny little bit every time they start to go up the field. There were a few chances here and there. I saw a couple from Luke where he was pushing it into the midfield, as you said. Overburn not pushing up when they needed to. That's like a facet of the boost game sometimes, just like miscommunication or being bumped or something like that. So many things can kill your momentum. It's just whether or not they can maintain that momentum and actually make those recoveries that are necessary to beat a team like Flame. But another double commit here almost ends at a team pinch, and sometimes it works out for the Flame, sometimes it doesn't. We'll just have to see if Overburn can exploit that.
Indeed. A little bit of whiff coming out from King JS again in that midfield, but it is recovered from him as he gets that first goal. And this is the third time it's happened, though. Overburn going up a goal lead at the beginning of this game. They've just got to shut out Flame as they usually come back swinging harder than ever. This is a good platform for Overburn to take a victory in this series. A bit of redemption victory, but it's only a matter of time as a kickoff goal comes in. What? In Premier?
Okay, so looking at the perspective here, Creamy flips forward. I think Rexo was a little slow to the kickoff. I'm not sure. Something really went wrong on that kickoff strat, which is strange to say considering the way that Flame have been playing. But
have we had goal of the week? Have we had goal of the week and fail of the week in one series?
Possibly.
You know, it is what it is. But you know, Flame. They've gone 2 goals down. It's going to be interesting to see whether they're able to bring it back, because this is a taller order than what they've had so far. Bit of a triple commit in that net there, but not too dangerous as it was that final shot there. Creamy's going to put it around looking for Rexo. Rexo not able to find the redirect needed as Creamy's going to put that pressure on to that player. Luke gets a touch away. Straight into the path of Creamy though once again, who plays it off the backboard looking for the follow-up. He does find it, but it's covered well by Gom. There's Rexo now challenging in the midfield. You see Edgeby going up, Creamy going up as well, but not able to find the touches needed. Rexo going to play it high and towards the back. Luke covers it nicely. Takes it away from the opportunity for Rexo, but Edgy with a shot covered again by Gom. And they're definitely picking up the pace at which they're challenging Overburn. And that's completely shutting down Flame's opportunities to offend.
Yeah, that's absolutely what we need to see from them. You know, it's a risky play, of course, leaving that open here. Creamy could have easily got a 50 dunk over King J's there. All 3 Overburn players pushing up at the same time. That's where the risk factor comes in. If you try to be aggressive, try to press the issue into that midfield area and prevent any sort of build-up from your opponent, you can leave that space open. But fortune favours the bold, and at the moment Overburn, as I said, if they manage to exploit the mistakes that Flame were making, they could start to hold on to that lead. I didn't know if they were going to do that with. Oh my goodness!
What a play! What a dunk!
Beautiful from Gamble. And all 3 players in Overburn have got a goal. What a touch that was! Take it past one, over the second, and then they commit early because they have to. They have to respect that they could do anything with that possession, and as a result, they go down 3-0. But yeah, as I said, once they start to consolidate that pressure, recognize when they need to challenge, as you said, going early, it's dangerous, but it's effective. And so far, it could be pushing them back into a 3-1 situation.
100%. So a lot of game time left in this series. We saw what happened in game number 1. This Flame side have no problem in scoring goals whatsoever. The passes are coming through. We saw the pass back attempt there, but it's cut out nice and early again. A demo by Luke onto Edgeby is going to shut out this offense momentarily, but still moving forward, and a beautiful win in the air is going to put that lead just a little bit smaller for Overburn. We see Broken, aka Gom, trying to get the touch, but Rexo's speed again playing dividends in that midfield, getting that goal with just 2.5 minutes left on the clock. So the halfway marker here. Flame smelling a little bit more blood in the water now. Is it going to happen? Only time will tell. Luke with an opportunity here. He tries to fly it down the field, is blocked out, but wins the second touch as well. But nobody there to follow it up. Edry misses his touch, but it's no problem. There's Creamy there to cover it as well. Broken there again, trying to put something happen. Rexo's speed again, just being so lethal. And I feel like whenever Rexo's too quick to the ball, that's when Overburn are struggling. Is when this player Rexo is so fast.
Yeah, that's the other side to the coin Aura's talking about. If they commit early like this, they have to get forced into double commit situations where they've got to make a play. There's just no option. If you don't make one, then there's just going to be an open net chance. Creamy takes a weak shot here. He draws the defenders out. They can't put any power on the clearance, and it's just a free shot for the second man. So if you can force your opponent into making touches they don't want to make,
play a way that they don't feel comfortable playing, the chances will come. But King J finding a chance of his own off the kickoff, something that we've seen the best and the worst of, I think, in this series. But
exactly,
the moment is working for Overburn just about. They have dropped 2 goals, and as I was going to say earlier, I didn't know whether. Oh, hold on a second, Rexo! Whoa! Almost does the not the impossible, the unthinkable. Yeah, that was like desperate defense. He had to go towards his own net just to keep that away from the offending players, but just about keeping this one close. And they keep interrupting me, trying to make my point. I didn't know if Overburn were going to get extremely defensive, and it's not worked anyway. They've blown a 3-0 lead.
They've blown a 3-0 lead. It was almost a 4-0 lead with a bit of a mistake coming out from Rexo. But his speed, as I said, coming in a little bit clutch at the end there. Able to get that touch away, fortunate enough for him. But we're back to a tied situation with 1:20 left on the clock. Creamy's going to be looking for the pass. He finds one. The redirect was there for Edgeby, but no own player from Overburn able to get that touch away. Rexo now trying to make something happen. Broken has gone up off the sidewall. Edgeby putting it downfield, going to stay with the ball. Bit of a double commit happening there, but still is dangerous. Creamy there to follow it up, puts a shot towards the top corner. Very dangerous. Com deals with it nicely, and now it's Luke putting the pressure back on. Creamy puts it towards Creamy. It's Kinjias coming off that sidewall, looking for the touch into the net, but could not find it. Broken now trying to make something happen. Rexo off the backboard again. Creamy gets a nice touch as well. There's still the pressure. He's on Flame. Can they break out of it? Creamy looking for the redirect. Couldn't get the touch. Would have been a beautiful opportunity for him, but still not to any avail. A bit of a team pinch coming out, and woo, a finish. That was that looked calculated. I don't think that was an accident whatsoever.
The recovery from Gamble coming off the wall. He was vertical, had to jump off just to maintain possession, and then flies towards the ball, pinches it between him and his teammate. That was a beautiful finish, even if it wasn't as calculated as it might have appeared. Watching it fly towards the net, I didn't think it was going to go on target, but this one's going to be... Oh no, that went off the post! That could have been the nail in the coffin. They get another chance. But as the possession is on the side of Flame, are they going to get it up the field in time? They have 3 players to beat. They beat 1. They beat 2. Creamy has a chance. There's a little bit of boost, but Luke's already there. Pops it across. This one popped up again, but the demo on the back line means that Overburn take it in the dying embers. They've snuffed out the Flame at the final hurdle. Still losing the series, but getting a game back, which, as we said, is so important in the Premier tier. Only 4 games a week. So little opportunity to raise yourself up the standings, but they've managed to do it here. They've fought tooth and nail, and managed to get 4 goals past their dangerous opponents. I can't believe that Flame kind of... Well, obviously, they came back from a 3-0. That was amazing. The passing that they did in the first game came back and showed its strength. But Overburn somehow managed to change things up, held on to that midfield and pushed back against the tide. And it worked out brilliantly in that last game.
It really did. I mean, we saw 2 absolute brilliant highlight goals within that series. You know, the first one coming from Flame, the beautiful kickoff start and kickoff strat with a 1-2-3 passing play into the back of the net, and then obviously in that final game to close out the series, Overburn clutching one at the end with a beautiful pinch goal. And that is going to be a 3-1 though in favour of Flame. I think, the player I want to talk to is Creamy. I think Creamy had an absolute stellar performance. I don't know about you, Vector, but I think also Source is trying to get hold of Creamy to get him in here to have a quick chat. And Vector, you have an elite level of knowledge within Rocket League, okay? Talk me through the difference at which Flame was playing that allowed them to get that victory and edge Overburn.
Well, obviously the trouble with the first game, I talk about it all the time, it was massive for Flame. 2 new rosters, obviously they played together themselves, but going into a new situation, a new franchise, it can be an upheaval, and it can be really difficult for players to adjust and figure things out. Looking at where they are in the standings, they might have been a little bit not debilitated, what's the word, just disheartened. I found the word. I found it, about being in that position in the standings, but they didn't show it. They worked so well together. Of course, the roster was together before they joined the franchise, and that's a massive boon to them. But we've mentioned it within the game. Almost all of their goals were assisted.
almost all of almost all of them were mechanical gods in every single facet of the field in offense and defense. So that was what edged it for me. There were very close games after the first one. So the fact that they could hold on to that, didn't quite get the sweep, unfortunate for them, but they played brilliantly otherwise.
100%. What a fantastic performance it was. And we have got Creamy in here to have a quick chat with us after that series. Creamy, how are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, easy dub, but they got lucky in the last game.
I like the confidence out of it. I mean, we were talking beforehand. You guys have played a lot together prior to joining the RSC. I mean, what has that experience done for you as a team?
I mean, we've teamed before, and we're really, really good friends. So anything we does just makes it easy because we know how we play.
Fantastic stuff. And having a teammate, we talked a lot. We're having a teammate such as Rexo, who seems to be so quick on the field and very good at controlling that midfield. But alongside Edgeby, you guys, those passing plays, that's something you guys work on, especially with that kickoff goal that we saw.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were kind of trolling in the first few games, and then we tried to come back in the last game, but it's not really anything. Rexo has changed his settings like a few days ago, so he's playing kind of bad, and yeah, we were just passing play around them to get us easy goals.
Fantastic stuff. I mean, you guys are very, very dominant. I mean, my final question is, how confident are you making playoffs and winning that 1K prize pool?
Pretty confident.
Very
Shouldn't
nice
be a problem.
indeed. Very
Maybe
nice.
vibing will be a bit hard, but that's it.
Very nice indeed. So if only vibing, they think, is a challenge to them. But right now, they're fairly confident in making the playoffs. Vector, any questions from yourself?
Well, they say that the other side of confidence is hubris. Sometimes you can kind of get a little bit too arrogant in the way that you play. You say that you were trolling the first 3 games, but you did lose the 4th one. So, looking back at that, being a part of a new franchise, obviously you're on the same team. You're so used to each other. We could see that with your link-up play, the chemistry, the understanding. I think the only question would be, as we mentioned it, we saw the best and the worst of the kickoff strats. What happened on that kickoff that I think it was Rexo that missed it and then it flew over you to go in? Was there
we were trying to do a Spanish kickoff, and they started reading it after we've done it like 5 times.
Right.
And they started reading it and just popped it over me in the net. And then we were down 3 goals in the last game, and we decided to try hard, and then they win off that pinch.
Yeah, well, they say, as we were saying, that it was about, it could be just coincidence, it could be completely random. Sometimes it's calculated, sometimes it's a team pinch. It worked out for them. You got a few fortunate bounces yourselves, but you took more opportunities than they did, and you played phenomenally well. Unfortunately, you didn't get the sweep, but it is going to be tough these last 3 weeks to go all the way up the table, try and get a better playoff position. But based on that performance, I can see it happening.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. You guys performing out of your mind, and a lot of people are now predicting you in that top echelon of teams. And I wish you the best of luck in these final couple of weeks. I look forward to casting you guys again, and I'm sure if you make it all the way through to the playoffs, you'll have me and Vector on the casting desk. Thank you, Creamy, for a fantastic performance, and a GG to you and your team.
Yes, GG's. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Well, what a Premier game that was, Vector. I mean, holy moly, that was something else. We saw 2, I think, questionable goal of the weeks. With a beautiful pinch and a fantastic team play. We've seen some blunders, some fails of the week happening with King JS's misses and that kickoff goal. I mean, that series, it had it all.
Yeah, I think as the stakes get higher and higher, the opportunity for, as you said, like clips of the week or fails of the week gets so much higher because they're going for more mechanical stuff, for more out there, flashy styles of play. And things can go really wrong as well as really right. But for the most part, I think things went quite right for my first Premier series and first Premier series with you. I can't wait to cast more, as you said, probably in the playoffs as well. I'm desperately looking forward to that. It's such a great season so far, and it can only get better as time goes on.
100%. It will only get better. Obviously, this is the first season with the big prize pool and everything like that, and the first season with Premier Tier. So this upcoming playoffs, guys, get it in your diaries. It's going to be happening very, very, very soon. And God, is it going to be one hell of an ultimate showdown with the end of Season 8. But Talking about that, that's the end of your part of the stream, isn't it, Vector? I'm sad you're leaving him.
As am I. It's been a blast, Hops, but you will be joined by the capable and confident hands of Buddha and Voice, for just the wonderful voice of Buddha. He's so good. He's a god tier caster to me, almost on the level of you, Hops, almost. But
Yeah,
gotta give him some
you know,
it's gonna be
he's
fun.
a
He'll be
fantastic
joining
caster.
you for the Premier and Elite series coming up, and I can't wait to see how you do with them.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed those first 2 games of this evening. Next up is Iovi versus Chianina. I can't say it. Chianina. It's that's going to be a mouthful within the Elite Series, but that is up next. An Elite matchup, guys. Don't go anywhere because after that Elite game is another Premier Warlocks versus Oreos. See you very, very soon.
I hope you know that you are on my mind. Promise I'ma waste no time. Got down, but now I climb. Said I wouldn't make it, feeling so lost. I feel caught up in the matrix. Have to keep waiting.